In a galaxy far, far away, there exists a group of fierce and fabulous women who are on a mission to explore the depths of pop culture. They are the Galactic Gals, and they are here to take you on a journey through the cosmos of entertainment. From the latest TV shows and movies to a trip down the Milky Way of nostalgia, they will delve into the worlds of fantasy and imagination, bringing you insights and analysis that are out of this world. So buckle up, cosmonauts, and get ready to blast off with the Galactic Gals Pop Culture Podcast.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody out there?
Hey,
In the nether
how's it going?
sphere. Where are you guys at? So, I don't know. Episode 16. We're talking about some Doctor Who stuff. We're talking about maybe a new Sherlock movie, possibly. If that excites anybody out there, I mean, I'd watch
yeah.
it. And we're having then we're gonna get into some real crazy merchandise, and then we're gonna talk about They Live, which is a classic 1988 movie starring Rowdy Roddy Piper. God, I got it right that time. So how you been doing?
I'm doing good. Been raining all week. I have butternut squash coming out the wazoo in our garden, and some of it's bursting at the seams, literally.
All right.
But hey, food to put up.
Right. What have you been immersing yourself in as far as pop culture?
Still trying to finish Dark Matter before our guest next week, and watched They Live, and started watching Outland with Sean Connery. That's interesting for sure.
That's not a bad way to spend your week, honestly. I mean, I've been, for the reason I've been working, obviously, but during work I've been listening to some audiobooks and kind of getting back into Jim Butcher, which is the Dresden Files, for people that didn't know who Jim Butcher is, but enjoying that again. There's quite a lot of books. I think I've only really read 4, so I think I'm book 5 now. So I'm enjoying it. I love the idea that you have a wizard in modern day that dresses like a wizard, sort of, and drives a crappy car, and it's just, he's working with the police. I mean, sign me up. So And plus, it's narrated by James Marsters, who's got an incredible voice when he's narrating, just saying.
I'll have to listen to that.
Incredible voice while narrating. And so, that's what I've been immersing myself in. And also Strange New Worlds. I've really, the last episode, I was like, wow. And we will eventually, like, maybe once we're done, we'll kind of go through and talk about the episodes, just like we did with series for Doctor Who. And I think that would be a fun one.
Yeah, we're all caught up on Strange New Worlds. I was like, what? So yeah, I like how that's going. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's getting it's it started out kind of slow for me, and then now it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I feel I get complete Star Trek vibes, from that, like old time Star Trek vibes that I think is needed. So Archer Collins says there was also a short-lived TV series. It was a number of. Oh yes, you're talking about the Dresden Files. I watched a couple of episodes, but I know you watched.
Yeah, I have the collection, the one season.
I think for me, like, because I have such a like, like in my mind, I viewed him to look a certain way. It kind of floored me. Maybe when I'm all done with all of the books, then maybe I'll watch it, because then it won't matter. But I don't want it to like mess with my head when I'm imagining.
Oh, I get it.
But yeah, so let's get started. So let me hit. I'm like Homer Simpson's, like, where's the button again? Okay, here it is. Yeah, I don't know. I need some art therapy this I have gotten away from art, and art kind of centers me, so I feel a little off because I haven't drawn, or I don't know. I go to a special place in my mind that it just relieves so much stress for me. Maybe you do. Maybe you too. Maybe you need an art day.
Yeah, I probably do. I've thought about painting, and I've got the stuff. I'm not the greatest or anything, but I thought about writing a book. So
yeah,
101 things to bitch about.
Do it,
because it would sell.
Oh yes, oh definitely sell. Absolutely. So
I get it. I get it. We all need to find our Zen zone.
Yeah, and I think that's what's been missing from my week, and also just stretching myself, as a lot of people know, that I'm starting a side project, which is a true crime channel, which I'm crazy, I know, but I've been also diving deep into Richard Ramirez, which sounds really strange, but deep diving into search on Richard Ramirez, and that can really like throw you off. So I have to do that in very little segments, and I'm writing another script. We've already done one podcast, and Jason is still editing all my ums and yeahs out.
Yeah.
I get more professional. So I also thought about with this channel, maybe taking us a little further, and maybe like doing us like a Spotify, maybe figuring out how to get us on Spotify. Because you don't have to really see everything. We it could be like a cool podcast on Spotify.
Right.
So I think about that. So that's also going to be in the works. So when I do all this other stuff, and I don't know, it might be 5 years from now. Who knows? But
well,
so
baby steps. Baby steps.
Here's our new poster. Thank you, Jason. You're amazing. Every week I ask him for my picture, and he always does something awesome, and
it looks wonderful.
It does. I love the 50s sci-fi vibe, and it's just really cool. And I can't wait for like the seasons to come out, because then I can just mix it with like, okay, do one like a sci-fi, Galactic Gals, 50s pinup with Halloween,
Right.
And then here do Christmas, So I'm looking forward to those. I'm really easily amused. Very, very easily amused.
But it's great. It's great. It looks really, really good.
Yeah. There is editing involved in this, because sometimes they have weird things like a third hand or two noses. So he actually literally has to go in and edit some of these, because AI is unpredictable.
Yeah, I haven't dabbled with the AI art in a while either, and it's so hard. You got to be really descriptive, and that's the hard
part. You have to
know
the right prompts. Yeah. Also, by the way, Jason does have a Midjourney, which is the AI that he uses a lot. He has a forum that he does post pictures. So, I mean, if you guys check it out, I might put it in the description. You guys are interested in AI or AR pictures. Some of the pictures that the people on there post are incredible, including some of the ones he does as well. So, yeah, I'll put it in the link and you guys can check it out. It's kind of cool, you know. I don't know anything about it, but I just enjoy looking at the pictures. So, so let's get started with something I'm sort of happy about. I didn't think I wanted it, but I kind of want it now that he's mentioned it, right?
Okay, the Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman one. I was thinking it was going to be the RDJ one.
Oh, see, surprise.
Yeah,
are you surprised
that is.
Or disappointed?
No, I'm surprised, but I recognize Mark's name, so wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he says Sherlock movie is a natural thing to do, says Mark Gatiss. I'm assuming that's how you say his name. I've been saying his name like that forever. So
Gatiss,
yeah. The show's co-creator is enthusiastic about the idea of another mystery. So he said basically he's expressed an interest in turning the hit BBC detective drama into a feature film, describing it as the natural thing to do. And I agree. I think it is. Mm-hmm. The series debuted back in 2010 and catapulted Benedict Cumberbatch to stardom, presenting sociopathic and an unknowable interpretation of the classic literary character created by Arthur Conan Doyle. Martin Freeman co-starred as Dr. John Watson across all 4 seasons of the show and in a period set titled The Abominable Bride, which premiered on New Year's Day in 2016 and won the Emmy for Outstanding Television Movie. And the new Q&A with the readers of The Guardian, Gatiss was questioned on why he and co-creator Stephen Moffat brought Sherlock to television as opposed to making a big screen project from the beginning. And he said, people think you have just a wand. It's incredibly difficult to get people interested and get films made, which I can believe. Yeah. I remember talking to Edgar Wright about Ant-Man, in which he put 8 years into his life and then it didn't make. So he said he would love to make a Sherlock movie. It's a natural thing to do. So, and it goes on to say a feature film would certainly be fitting with Cumberbatch and Freeman, now big names in Hollywood, with the former playing Doctor Strange in Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the later known for being the lead in Peter Jackson's The Hobbit trilogy. So I didn't think this is something that I needed, but I kind of need it now. So it has to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I miss them as Sherlock and Watson. You know, when I first saw Benedict playing that role, I'm like, okay, who is this guy? You know, and it took me like 2 or 3 viewings before I could really get into it. But he made Sherlock Holmes come to life for me. And I've gone back and read some of Arthur Conan Doyle's, you know, stories and everything. It's like, and I hear him as Sherlock, and it makes a huge difference for me. So yeah, I can identify that way.
For me, like I was never into like the Victorian, and you think I would since I like Jack the Ripper and things like that, but it never really did anything for me. Sherlock kind of opened that door of like where I could be open to that, because he did it in such a modern but cool, but holding, you know, he kept the character and how the character needs to be played in mind. You know, he still held on to that. So I like the show. A lot of people didn't like the ending, the last season, but I didn't have a problem with it at all. I would definitely watch it, you know, and I think especially with Hollywood being kind of, you know, with this actor strike, we need more British films, you know, that'd be great. That would actually kind of fill in. And Archer Collins says, and I know this case, and this case is very interesting. Talking of true crime, earlier today, I came across an audiobook about this true story of Alexander Hamilton and Alexander Burr teaming up to solve America's first sensational murder mystery. I've heard of that. I haven't dived deep into it yet, but that sounds very interesting.
It does.
Again, I love true crime, and especially kind of the older cases and stuff like that. They interest me quite a bit. So let's move on to the next. Where's my background? Okay. So I really was very happy to hear this about David Tennant's talking about how his 14th Doctor is not going to be the same as his previous Doctor, which we all know is the 10th. And the reason he said was the Doctor's been 3 different people in the meantime, so I'm not necessarily the same version of the Doctor that was before. And I know there was a lot of debate when we first learned that he was coming back, that that it was going to be the same old 10, because he basically rubbed his tongue over his teeth and says, new teeth. And so I just think that was just to warm people up to the idea. Not that you needed warming up, but to get them to be, like, that old feeling of, the 10th Doctor's back, and the feels and stuff. But honestly, I thought that was just, just a tongue-in-cheek kind of fun thing. So, and here he is, obviously.
I wonder, if they're like maybe in Pete's world, if it's 10 and a half or the alternate Doctor.
You mean like he's just another, like he's in the parallel universe? Or
the parallel. Yeah. I mean, it makes me wonder where Dama's there, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will. I'm getting excited about it, and I love this outfit. I love his costume. I love the tartan vest. I do, and I just noticed that today because Dan had mentioned on the forum today. And by the way, if anyone's listening and you haven't joined our Galactic Gals forum, please do. It's a lot of fun. But Dan had mentioned, he was excited too. And then I started looking at the picture, like really analyzing the new picture, and I saw the tartan, and I was like, oh, he has tartan. He has a tartan vest. And to me, that's like a callback to the John Pertwee Doctor, which I love. Some people hated that tartan coat he wore, but I absolutely thought it was great. So I do love, and he looks obviously not goofy or, 10 kind of had a way of, he could be overly goofy sometimes. And I don't know if we're going to be getting that.
Archer made an interesting comment. He said, I've seen it theorized that David's Doctor is actually some sort of skin over Shooty's, and they're in the toy maker's realm and may have been for some time. That's interesting.
That is interesting. So that makes me wonder. That's a good point, Archer. That makes me wonder if, like, maybe we're going to see a little bit more Shooty, like, coming back. Maybe if that was true, like, maybe we'll see, like, Shooty try to come through or something,
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because recently, Yasmin Finney, who plays Rose Noble, had said that she does have some scenes with Shooty. So I'm thinking it's either a scene at the end, or maybe there's another scene that, and maybe you're right. That's really interesting. I'd never thought of that, and that would be cool. Hi Cam, how you doing? I think you were in last stream, but I'm sorry if we didn't respond. Cool. Yeah. Cool. So maybe that is. I mean, look, I know there's a lot of negativity surrounding this already, and the 60th even and the 14th years, but I'm getting excited because I just choose not to focus on that, because it's I don't know. I haven't seen it. I mean, once maybe I'll hate it, maybe I'll love it, but I know I'll love the 60th. That's I mean, so he says, so I'm not necessarily the same version of the Doctor that I was before. So he's, and I'm glad. I want something different. Tennant has a huge range. It would be a shame to waste it just on, just on being 10 again.
For real.
Okay. So, and I love these, I love these photos that they took are gorgeous. With the backgrounds, I'm a sucker for those colors, the galaxy colors that they have.
And I'm looking so forward to seeing Catherine Tate back.
Yeah, definitely.
I love her.
And she looks really good for her age.
She does.
I don't know what she's doing, but she's got a good skincare routine that I need to know about.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, girl? She's older than me, so she's about like, I think, John Barrowman's age, so she's up there. And they actually both look really good. You know, so basically, she added, neither me nor Donna know what's going on. I believe my soul is too low bro to comprehend what happens. My intellect is too low rent. Aw, it's quite tricky for me, so it's almost would have been counterproductive to put all these adventures into my head. She's talking about the canon and those types of things. So Tennant has previously recalled his return to a show of Victory Lap, adding that has meant gets to enjoy something that he has meant so much to you at one last shot before you get too old to do it again. Hey, you know, you only live once. So, yeah. So here's the Doctor Who magazine You Only Live Twice cover, which is awesome to see Doctor Who magazine cover look like this again.
Yes.
I don't know where to buy it, and it's too expensive to buy on Amazon, but I would like a copy of this just because I don't know how much longer we'll have covers like this.
Books A Million, maybe, Barnes and Noble. That's the only places
Barnes
I can think
and Noble used to carry Doctor Who magazine way back when I wasn't into Doctor Who. But now that I'm into Doctor Who, they don't have it. So,
of course.
Yeah, of course. But I haven't been in a store, so maybe I'll trek down there and look in the magazine section and see if I can find a copy, because it would be a lot cheaper than buying a subscription.
Yeah.
So this one's very interesting. I came across this yesterday. I think this article came out. Doctor Who boss teases unannounced guest star for crucial scene. Let the guessing games begin. Shooty in the same type of galaxy background. He looks like he's got the 70s outfit on, which I think is going to be primarily his outfit personally.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me wonder, like, is most of his season going to take place in the 70s? I don't know. That would be interesting. Again, I want to show you these gorgeous pictures before we continue. Just wow, that is just so cool. Like the logo. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know what kind of like stone faced person you could be that just not to like this, but I can't help it.
It fits them.
Yeah, and I like the way. Yeah, and I like the way that Tennant is doing a completely different look that he's done in the past, because he'd always do these wide eye, hey, looks, and he's just like with his one eye closed and him just pointing that Sonic is just. I wanted them to retire the Sonic, but now that I see it, I'm like, oh no, you can't retire that thing. There's no way you can retire that.
Yeah, for real.
Not now anyway. Maybe later. Maybe as time goes on, but I think they're gorgeous. I like the galaxy colors, because when I draw anything with a galaxy background, and you've seen some of my art, I love using these colors and mixing them together. I just do. And so when I saw this, I'm like, oh my God, that speaks to my soul. Just totally speaks to my soul. So
yeah, when I've done spray paint art, I'll use colors like that, because I kind of like to try to put a nebula in there, and that's what it looks like to me. So yeah. In fact, I had a phone case that looked like that. In fact, I have a tablet case as well that's got the galaxy. My husband knows how to buy for me. Just buy me a phone case with those color schemes, or got to have a galaxy. In fact, I've got a galaxy key to our door. So yeah, I'm a sucker. You got me on that, RTD. You just suckered me right in. Sorry. But it's like, we know how to play her. Put a galaxy behind them. And here is the other two pictures that I think are really well made too. I like the Millie Gibson. I like the other ones better than the Millie Gibson one, only because I don't know, there just seem to be more like purple in the others. But I still think they're great. And I like her outfit. I do. She's like classy. She's like a classy Rose. Kind of reminds me of like something Ace would wear.
Yeah, or Ace, or like it's Nyssa. Like there's a Nissa vibe, Ace, which I like. I prefer better than Rose. So let's go back to the article after I've just drooled all over those pictures. But it appears there's at least one major guest star we haven't gotten word of yet, with Russell T Davies revealing as much in his letter from the showrunner in his month's Doctor Who magazine. Davies wrote, "There's a great set in the very last block of the 2024 series. It only appears for one scene, but a crucial scene with a really lovely guest star, unseen by the public, and that makes me really curious. Unannounced in the press because the scene takes place secretly within the studio, so you got a nice surprise to come." If it's Peter Capaldi, I'm going to lose my shit. It's going to say. And I could see that happening because you see pictures with Shooty and Peter a lot.
Yeah, you do.
A lot.
You really do.
But then I don't know what this is about, but there's just like this like quote. "And then look, it's me wandering onto the set, coming to have a little shufty. But really not really to meet the guest star because, famous, okay?" I don't know. That doesn't sound like Peter Capaldi.
I don't know.
I wish. No. Whoever the guest star is, they will join a stacked cast list for the next season of the long-running sci-fi, which also includes running stars Gemma Redgrave and Bonnie Langford, which I'm excited about because that is giving me Doctor Who 80s vibes. Love it. Yeah. So you all know who I hope the guest star is.
Oh yeah.
So who do you think it'd be?
It could be him.
I know we want Peter Capaldi, but
yeah. I don't know who else, over there would be big enough fans, and big enough stars to go in there. You got John Sim, but he plays the master.
That doesn't sound like him.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming this is a quote from the person that, unless it's Matt Smith. Because to me, that kind of sounds more like Matt Smith.
It does sound like Matt Smith, but what about Jenna Coleman?
Do you really think she would? I don't know. She doesn't sound like that she would say it that way, right? It doesn't sound like her.
Maybe. I don't know. Because, famous, okay? I don't know.
I don't know. It's probably, we're going to be probably really disappointed. Right? Right? Because right now my fantasies are like, it's super secret. And the only person I can think of it's super secret is Peter Capaldi, because that's my mind. It's one track. So it's probably somebody I'm going to be like, oh, them.
It could be, but
my worst nightmare with this. Okay, here's my worst nightmare. Jodie Whittaker.
Oh gosh, no.
Does it not sound like Jodie Whittaker? FML, if it is. FML. Because it kind of sounds like she would say Shufty, does it not?
Maybe. Oh boy.
Put a gun to my head and just end it now. If that literally is, I'm serious now. Because it does. Well, it actually does sound like her. I mean, coming to have a little Shufty. I can't see Peter Capaldi saying that. See, I've just talked myself out of my fantasy now, and now it's depressing. So
okay, right. You Brits out there, what does Shufty mean for us Americans? Because I have no clue. Oh my goodness. I like really the picture though there. I like the Regency era look. Yeah.
It bothered a lot of people. And I think that the concern is valid that, they're going to go back to a time where racism is going to be an issue and it's going to be a big thing, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. So I'm reserving judgment. But
well, that reminds me of that movie that's out with the guy in the lead role, and he's playing the violin, and it's set in that type of setting, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but I remember it got seeing a lot of the trailers and stuff for it. And it's like, that might be pretty interesting, you know? But I like the clothes. I wish her dress was a different color, a darker color. But
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say how it's going to go. So, but yeah, I've just basically depressed myself about it. I was real excited. And then I get to this comment going, and I started thinking about, well, it kind of sounds like Matt Smith. And I'm like, well, who would sound that dumb?
Okay. Archer said Shufty means a quick look. Okay. That makes sense. Look around.
Retro Doc says it's probably a cameo appearance for an actor in art. Yeah, you're probably right. It probably isn't anything exciting. But as long as it's not Jodie Whittaker, I'm fine. Just don't be Jodie Whittaker. Please don't be Jodie Whittaker. I will literally just I don't know. I won't be happy.
Well, if it's going to be like a guest star like that, the only person that comes to mind for me would be Mark Gatiss, because he's been in several of the episodes. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. And we could sit here all day and sit here, but now I've depressed myself, so I need a drink. Because I'm imagining Jodie Whittaker, you know, going in with that stupid outfit and ruining everything. It's, you know, anyway. So let's move on, because I don't want to be depressed.
Yeah.
Let's go to something better. Doctor Who reveals new sonic screwdriver for David Tennant's 14th Doctor. So a new sonic has arrived. Yes, I do too. I do too. Can you tell I love these pictures? I need a poster.
It would make a great poster.
It would. He looks absolutely gorgeous in this picture.
Yeah, he does.
And like I said, I love the way he's doing his eye. And anyway, we already over that. Stop. So every new Doctor, even one with a familiar face, gets a sonic screwdriver of their own. And Doctor Who is keeping up the tradition for the 14th Doctor. The second incarnation of the Time Lord to be played by David Tennant, blah, blah, blah. His own version of the versatile tool. And it was officially unveiled today. So here's the trailer. Have you watched this?
I have. It just looks brilliant.
Okay, I gotta watch it again. I've watched this like 10 times, but I'm gonna click. You know what? I'll take the copyright. Okay, we'll just do it. And let me just pause it. Let me just say that music.
Mm-hmm.
We've missed it.
I can hear Donna say in my head, "It's sleek. It's sleek." You know, from when she met up with him in Partners in Crime.
Yeah,
it's sleek, very sleek. So yeah,
it's my God. I've forgotten what it was like to have decent music surrounding Doctor Who.
Thank you, Murray Gold. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. I love the way the logo looks. I just do. It's gorgeous. Give me a good logo and some good music and a decent Sonic, and you're halfway there to convincing me. So,
yeah.
The 14th Doctor Sonic features a rotating head and a top that opens up much like the 11th Doctor's gadget, but still glows blue, akin to the 10th Doctor screwdriver. A lot of people said that there was a little bit of 12th screwdriver in there too. Notice it wasn't the gigantic, dildo that Whittaker had.
Yeah. Gary brings up a point. He said it already sold out at San Diego Comic-Con. I've seen that. And people are taking them and putting them on eBay, and they're starting off at, $125 or more.
Yeah, so, and I think that's wrong.
I've noticed that.
I've looked for anything like close. I mean, I'm sure they'll have another version of it, right?
Right.
Sometime, and I'm checking Amazon. Like, come on, give it to somebody, other people that in America that can get it. Because I mean, I don't, I didn't know it was coming out. I knew they announced it, but it was so quick, and I don't even know if that site even ships to America. It's a
we do
serious
have
scientific experiment.
Yeah, we do have some friends that live in the UK. We PayPal them some funds, and then they can ship it this way for us. So there is that option. But scalpers. That's just so
I
wrong.
would have asked, but I didn't know. Before I thought, okay, I got a couple days. The mass version won't have the silver on it. I'm fine with it. I just want a 14th Doctor Sonic. That's all. Doesn't have to be like the top. It would be nice to get the nice one, but if you can't, we'll just I'll suffer, through it. But I also think it means that there's more merch coming out, which is a good thing. But we don't have good merch for you here today at all. Now that we don't coming up, we don't have good merch, but we're going to show you what you can get other than the Sonic. Here at Galactic Gals, you can get the Squirt handheld game. Get them now. Put your pre-orders in because these are going to sell fast. They're going to go.
Funny.
So, yeah. So you guys put your orders in. Get ready because it's happening. It's happening. So let me see here. So put them in. So here's the other one that you guys might be interested in.
Wow.
It's the Gay Enterprise. So by Psychedelic Toys.
Interesting
so
company.
You have your own Spock and Kirk shirtless, so that for all your gay needs.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm surprised they have pants on for the Gay Enterprise. They're really like, they're slacking.
All they're missing is the Playboy bunny thing around the neck.
Yeah. The Playgirl.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Playgirl.
Wow.
Yeah. So the next, but get your orders in. If you can't get that Sonic, you can always have the Gay Enterprise. Next one is Black Man. So the worst. Yeah, Black Man.
Wow.
I'm not sure why they thought this was a good title for a toy.
Yeah,
but
really.
Here we are.
Wow.
Obviously, this is not in America. But don't, it's going to sell out quick. So, put your orders in, you can eye me if you're interested, send it on out. Then if you can't get Black Man, then we can always get Rose Tico, dog version. So if because I know everybody, it's hard to find those Rose Tico figures out there. I mean,
that looks like something out of a Stephen King novel, like Cujo mixed with Chucky or something. That's just awful.
Yeah. That's what but again, Rose Tico, not an easy thing to find, right? Not a lot of figures out there, right? No, there really are a lot of fucking Rose Tico figures.
Jeez.
So talk about
that's just so wrong on so many levels. Oh my word.
Put these in your kids, if you need them for back to school's coming up soon, you might need like Wonder Woman, the scissoring version, and put that in their backpack. And later on in this, in our collection here, we'll have a special backpack to put all this in.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and it's gonna be something real bad. Time Mechanic says he wants that. Okay, sure. I'll send it out to you.
No comment. I'm not even gonna go there. No.
The only thing it should be. Okay, wow. So here's a surprise for your little kids when you pull out the little kangaroo.
Mm-hmm. Where's the rest of the body? Oh my gosh.
I mean, they were too cheap. They couldn't finish it. They just had to it looks really lewd. Yeah,
I know that Jeff Dunham's got Jose Jalapeno on a stick. What is this? Kangaroo minus the body. I mean, geez. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the next thing we have is poor Spider-Man. He looks like he's been in some accident. Like Lorena was he married to Lorena Bobbitt? I mean, yeah, that's a bad place to put the little. Yeah.
Yeah. Little red thing.
They didn't bother to actually put any kind of stickers on it or anything. It just looks like it's disturbing. That just looks disturbing to me.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, like it's been bobbed.
Yeah, well, it looks like that's what makes the bike go, and I'm like, really?
That's what Spider-Man is clearly not wearing underwear. No shit. Yeah.
Oh man.
Now there's a name I've not heard in a long time. Lorena Bobbitt. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a whole other podcast. And you know what? That actually might be a good one for my true crime.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Could be.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So now 2-finger squirter, double shot.
Wow.
Yeah, just for summer fun, I'll give this to your kid,
Never mind.
And the fact that it's green is just more disturbing.
Oh gosh.
I think that makes it worse. Although I think if it was probably skin color, it probably would be worse. But I don't know. The green is it's like the Hulk or something. It's weird. It's like the Hulk is goosing people. Yeah. Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Do whatever a spider can except for reproduce. Yeah. Yeah. That ain't gonna happen. Not with that thing. And I thought, kids need, food for their little kid refrigerators.
That looks like a pile of poop, but it's peanuts.
Any guess what that is in the middle? I don't know. It still looks like poop to me.
I think it's or pickles. I don't know. Pickles are green though, not brown. Oh, gosh.
I really think whoever took this picture probably did fake poop, but I don't know. I think it's supposed to be something. Any guesses in the chat what this is supposed to be? Because it looks like shit to me.
Wen said the same thing.
What's that?
Wen said the same thing. She's got the little poop emoji.
Yeah. New in Target.
Wow. Jeez.
Yes, it should
be.
That
tomato looks like a brain.
Yeah. The chicken looks more like a chicken. I don't know. That looks like Jody Sonic right there. That the carrot looks more like Jody Sonic. That's probably what he was saying.
Oh God.
Chocolate ice cream. I don't think so. That's the mystery of all of this. Let's, maybe I don't know if you've ever watched a Peep Show, but there's this character called Sir Chicken Digby or something like that. And he's a homeless guy. He thinks he's like Sherlock Holmes, and it just sounds like something that he'd want to solve. Is like, what is this in the middle? Let's solve it. And he's like a homeless guy that thinks he's Sherlock Holmes. But
that's funny.
And he goes by Sir Chicken Digby. Yeah, I mean, actually, that's a really funny show. You should probably watch it.
Okay.
So let's go to the next one. I'm terrified to go to the next one. So remember those scissors that we saw earlier, right? Now you can get this for your kid and make his life living hell and put the scissors in there. So there you go. Your back to school is like here at Galactic Gals, we really do care about your back to school needs. Yeah.
Jeez.
And let's be honest, there are some kids that need that backpack.
My goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor little kitty for sure. Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Moving swiftly on. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hakuna Mutananus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it gets more terrifying. This is just a little bit. I mean, it gets a little bit better, but it gets still equally terrifying. Yes.
Okay,
and
did did Sid from Toy Story get a hold of that?
I mean, I think Neil Hardiman did not. I don't know if Neil's in the chat, but Neil Hardiman designed this. Okay, he has had to have designed this because she actually has removable tits.
Oh my God.
And that's what it looks like in the left corner. And I don't know what she's doing with her hand. I'm just saying, here at Galactic Gals, we got your 2-year-old, 3-year-old covered, since it is, 2023. And
is it merch for the new Barbie movie?
Yes, it is. Right here at Galactic Gals. We got you covered.
Gee whiz.
Yes, for the 2023 children of 2023. God help them all.
And Gary said the Disney logo on that makes me think it's an absolutely real product. It very well could be.
It could be. I don't know. I don't research these. I don't know. I don't want to know. But again, it's so badly placed. I think that they're pretty good at knockoffs. In fact, I did this on purpose. I bought a Funko Pop Peter Capaldi keychain because I lost my Elvira Funko Pop one. And I bought it specifically because if I lose it, I'm not worried about it. And it actually is a pretty good knockoff, but the box was obvious that it was a knockoff. So,
right.
But they're getting better. This is not good. This is not better. So this one it's definitely been created by Neil Heiderman, called Breast Chaser. See, and I don't know if some of these could be Photoshopped too,
Yeah, they could, but geez.
Yeah. Wynn says the scary thing is we can't tell the difference anymore. Exactly.
Yeah.
Having just watched, here. Okay. First of all, I know that there's got to be somebody that reviews it, right? But there's one movie that I will not go see just because it's Barbie, is the Barbie movie.
Oh,
so
I never liked Barbie growing up, so nope.
Right.
I have no interest.
My sympathies, Critical Drinker, for going to see that movie. For everybody else, I don't care anything about Barbie other than it's just stupid that they made the movie in the first place. So. But yeah, my sympathies to anyone and to you, Archer, for having to watch the review of Critical Drinker, having to watch Barbie. So there you go. Hoping you recover from that. She looks, she did. She looked really happy. But breast chaser. I thought it said breast cracer at first, but yes, it's definitely an H. So I don't know if this was been enhanced by Photoshop. I don't know. I didn't do that deep research. This is just for fun. So now brought to you by Democrats, the toy that all Democrats are creating straight from the White House. This is what they come up with. So get yours today. Yes,
that lay eggs,
right?
That lay eggs like this big. Dogs.
Straight from Democrats to your home. Here's looking at you, Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Gosh.
And Nancy Pelosi. So, yeah. So that's not it. There's one more. So you want to get a blanket for your kid?
Oh my gosh.
He looks demented.
Wow.
We really gotta do this every fucking week. I'm serious. Like, I've got to find more. And I had to really dig deep because John is like every week just like, I got another one. I got another one. I had to like work really hard to find these because most of them I found were like stuff he's already posted. So I was really trying hard. But this is what they come up with, you know. They couldn't even bother to color the honey.
I like Retro Doc's comment. If it were from the Dems, there'd be a dime bag of Coke in each package. I think maybe that's what Winnie the Pooh there's got.
Right. It goes with the other dog's toy.
Oh, yeah.
You can kind of combine them. It's like a, you know, like a gift basket. You buy the dog's toy and then you buy this, you know, perfect. And it looks like Hunter, doesn't it?
I mean, look at that face on him. It just...
It's demented.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Pooh looks like a drug dealer. I didn't think it was drugs because my mind goes there. I'm sorry.
It looks like something else. Yeah. Yeah. It could be.
Yeah.
It could be
Also
egg, but
it also ties in with Hunter.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying if the Pooh fits, the Pooh fits. So that's all. I just thought everybody needed to laugh. You know, sometimes I think that the world is real, you know, cruel and harsh and angry.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a laugh. It really is. And so I think we should start doing something very similar every week. There's all kinds of funny movie posters and stuff we could do. And I just think it's fun. And I needed to laugh. And I laughed a lot last night getting these together. Because as usual, I put everything at the last minute. But I did have to dig quite hard. So, so the next topic of discussion is They Live, which is, I love it.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday. I loved it. It's funny. For me, it was funny. Parts of it were funny, but it's so relevant for everything happening in the world today. It is. That's what I found, you know, and Roddy Piper, it's like, damn, not bad for a wrestler. He could act, you know?
Yeah. So. Yeah. I was skeptical. I watched about 15 years ago and Jason told me, you need to watch it. And I was like, oh, no, it's Roddy Piper. It's like, God, he's probably a terrible actor. And I was like, I watched it and I was like, wow, this is a really good show. And it's entertaining. And I do like John Carpenter. So that just like, already I'm like John Carpenter, a master. You know, he's like the Steven Spielberg of like suspense and horror, you know, to me. And yeah, I fell in love and I rewatched it last night and just had a good time, you know. It reminds me of time when they could bring in politics to movies and they can make them entertaining as well, which is something they need to relearn. Yeah, so your thoughts about like what's your favorite scenes, like what like, you know, what were you expecting, in other words?
I like the fight scenes in the alley. You know, I thought that was great. I laughed my ass off all the way through that because it was so cheesy and corny, but it was so good. You know, and when he goes into the bank, and he said, "Oh, you got to say the line for me."
It's it's like I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Yeah, that. Yeah, because my 23-year-old son came up and goes, "Oh, you're watching that movie?" And he said, said that line. I'm like, "Yeah, that's the movie. You just said it." I'm like, "How do you know about this?" He's like, "Well, I just know. You know, I've seen it." I'm like, "Well, shit," you know. And then I like when he sees those guys that when he puts the glasses on, it's like, formaldehyde face. And I'm like, oh, that's Nancy Pelosi right there. So,
and
I mean,
and again, it's a very deep, it's fun, but it's also a very deep movie.
It is.
And it gets its point across that, we're all being manipulated in some way or another. And, in these days, like, I think the media manipulates a lot of people. And I think it showed that when he opens the magazine and it says obey and sleep and, like just by ads and just by, again, the media. And And just how I did think it was quite funny when he looked up on the billboard and he saw the woman in the bikini, and when he put on the glasses, it says marry and reproduce. I'm like, well, at least the aliens are moral. I mean, So, but I thought Keith David was great in this movie, and then I did think their fight scene went on a little too long, but I think that was to showcase his wrestling moves, obviously.
Yeah.
But
because we were watching it.
Yeah.
And Tracy goes, "Oh, yep, that's a Roddy Piper move right there when he arm barred him,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I did think it was a good scene because that guy, like, you couldn't convince him at all. And it was like, and I thought that was realistic because most people you tell somebody like, look, when I put these glasses on, I see a bunch of aliens that are controlling us. And that's why I killed a bunch of people at the bank. They're not going to believe you. So I think it's what it took for him to see, like he had to physically put the glasses on him to get him to realize. He had to beat him down to do it. And I think that also is a metaphor of like, sometimes you have to kind of like, people are hard-headed and they don't want to see. They don't want to open their eyes. They don't want to see anything. So you have to not like physically beat them down. I'm not saying go do that, but I'm saying that sometimes you have to fight. You have to get the word out. And so did this remind you of Twilight Zone at all? A little bit? Like this could have been like a Twilight Zone episode.
It could have been, or it could have been Tales from the Dark Side too.
Outer Limits.
It could have been that. Yeah. But I enjoyed the film overall, and the makeup work or the masks or whatever. I mean, they're kind of terrifying in their own, for the time frame that the movie was set in. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I thought the acting was good. And what did you think of the scene where they get down to the tunnels when they do that little portal thing with the watch?
Yeah.
What did you think? What did you think of the way that they described the rich people in there as elitists and how they were all in on it? God,
no different than how it is today. That's exactly how it is today. They've all got their Epstein's Island and their mansions in Beverly Hills and the rich place on the East Coast, Martha's Vineyard, the Hamptons and all that. I'm like, well, it figures,
Right.
And everybody else, we're all slaves, to the system and have to work and try to scrape by. And we have troubles,
Yeah.
So,
Archer Collins says also a bit of the silence from Doctor Who for some reason. Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah.
Except, that would be convenient if they could actually make people forget, because that would have been, they'd really be in trouble. But I also thought that, what was I going to say? My mind went, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, I can see the silence in there. Yeah, that makes total sense. And that's why I guess he was trying so hard to get the other guy to see, I would have shoved the glasses on his face to begin with instead of all the fight scene, but that's just me. But I'm surprised he didn't pass out more glasses. But everybody was so brainwashed that they didn't want to look,
Well, I think the problem is like, I don't know why, but he took that box. I guess he knew it was somehow important for whatever reason. And he hid it in that garbage can. And then I think he only ended up with like 2 glasses. And then the glass that he had at Holly's apartment when she pushed him out of the glass, out of the window.
Yeah.
Which shocked me the first time that I saw that.
Yeah.
And then I already kind of knew, like, yeah, she's probably in on it somehow. She works for the news, the news. And and he's already taken in with her, with her eyes. You can tell, like, she's got really vibrant eyes. That's what.
Yeah, she played Minuet in Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think she was Riker's girlfriend. She was Minuet because I recognize the eyes.
Okay, yeah, she might have been wasn't there like another actress that played her though?
I don't know. I thought that was her, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to go and look now.
Yeah, I don't think it is though. But I thought maybe the character was played by another version. Maybe there was another. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen them. Okay. Sadako 24 says I didn't really like the twist about Holly. I mean, I kind of understood why they did it though. Yeah. The scene that, and I don't know about how you felt about the scene, but where Keith David's character is they're going up into the top of the roof to destroy the signal.
Right.
And that, he goes up and then she pulls out the gun and you're just like, oh my God. And she shot him. Yeah. Of course she didn't see it, but like, I don't know, that scene just really broke my heart because here's a guy that didn't want to get involved in any of it at all. He just all he want to do is just do what he's supposed to do. He has a family. And then that just seems so tragic to me. I did kind of wish that they hadn't done that, but it is John Carpenter and that's what John Carpenter does.
Yeah. Yeah, it was shocking. I'm like, well, I guess she's bad after all, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other scenes that I really...
if it was that easy to just walk up to a construction site and get a job, I mean, that would be great.
And I also thought that was something that was really relatable.
And then he said, we're union, and he's like, yeah, it's like, well, we're union. Okay, well, let me talk to your shop steward, and it's like, okay, well, the guy gets it. So, yeah.
And also, I think it's very connected to today, how people are living in tents in certain parts of California and other states, and just the way that they live. I thought that was really, wow. It's like, actually, I wouldn't have believed that back then. If I'd have saw that in a movie, I'm like, if I'd have watched it back in the 80s, I'd been like, oh, well, that's obviously fictional, right? Because I'm sure that happened, but that wasn't something that was in the news as much, and it wasn't like focused on. Now it's like everywhere. So that is definitely. It's almost like, could you predict something? It's like The Simpsons or something, how they predict all these events happening.
Yeah, there's tent cities, about 25 minutes away from where we are, and you go into the next town over and they're there. I mean, what, people got to do what they got to do. And that in the movie, when the cops came through and they bulldozed that little encampment, it's like they didn't do anything. They're punishing them and we're killing them. It's like, why? It's to send a message.
Right. Yeah, it was to send a message that you're under our control. You do what we say. And they were actually looking for the people that, like the preacher,
right,
and the head of the organization, to stop them. So they didn't care who they killed because they don't care about humans at all. And I really think that movie has a big effect in some ways about how people are manipulated by media and how people are manipulated by our politicians, and how the everyday guy gets the short end of the stick. And
exactly.
Which Keith David had talked to his character. I can't remember his character's name right off. His character was saying that, that's how he felt. And of course, Roddy Piper's character was like, but I still believe in America. So it's very deep. This movie is like fun, but it's very, very deep. And then of course, when he destroys the signal at the end of it, and of course, sadly, spoilers. I don't know. Maybe I won't give the spoiler away, but and everyone's being able to be seen. Though that was some comical stuff right there.
Yeah. Now I also found it interesting that you've seen the Walmart ads. A few years ago, if you see something, say something, and that's what these people did in the movie. Oh, he's a tall blonde man, wearing sunglasses, and they're speaking into their watch, playing spy.
Yeah, like that picture right there to the right, where they're in the grocery store. So I think that's the grocery store scene. And
and And they're everywhere you turn. You know what?
Yeah.
That's a depiction of modern day cell phones.
Yeah.
You can't get away.
It really is.
Everybody has a cell phone. Yep.
I recommend for everybody to watch this movie, honestly, because I think it really is. It dives deep into, the society of just telling on each other, and very and that's a very like socialistic view.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen some people trying to throw this movie off on Trump, like, well, this is Trump's America. No, this isn't Trump's America. This is a socialist America. And and they did that with 1984 too.
Yeah.
And this was made during Reagan's era. This is a very socialist, this is a very pro-America, like pro-freedom movie. If you want to look at it that way.
When they did get to the underground and everybody was there, all wearing their tuxedos and everything, it's like, he said, this is the best that money can buy or whatever, or they're sellouts. It's so true, because there are people that would sell out their own families. It goes along with the you'll own nothing and be happy mentality. And that's what they did.
Yeah. This film used to be fiction, Darren Zone says.
Yeah.
Lucy Meow, I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name, but Lucy Meow, it's the Great Reset's future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Archer Collins says, leave California now. I agree. But if you come to Texas, don't vote for Democrats.
Yeah. Well, they're here.
Don't vote blue.
They're here in Tennessee even, so yeah.
They are in Texas too. But if you're going to come here, if you're fleeing California, do not come here and vote for the same policies that made you leave California or wherever you left. So, and they do that. So, Sadako 24 says there's a book on it called San Francisco. Ooh, I like that. Francisco with the Sicko, which I have on Kindle, about how the problems with the city began. Oh, that's interesting. I can tell you probably Nancy Pelosi didn't help. Could be worse. They could be all Skrulls. Carpenter definitely did not want the romantic happy ending, and I'm glad he didn't do that. I think that would be out of his character as a filmmaker.
Well, when you have a people divided as you did in that movie, it's going to be just like that, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Right.
That's just real.
Well, you saw like one of the homeless guys, which ironically was the same homeless guy in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
He sold out, and that's who was taking him in the tunnels and showing him around, and he was just like proud of it, like proud of selling out his country to these aliens that were hurt. And a lot of their attitudes, well, what is this hurting? Like her attitude, Holly's attitudes, and like, what is it hurting? No one's getting hurt. But yes, you are. When you are suppressing people's critical thinking skills, independent thought, that's hurting people.
Yeah. I can't help but think of the Ninth Doctor when him and Rose were taken prisoner by the Jagerfests, and he said, is a slave still a slave if he doesn't know he's a slave? And the Doctor goes, yes. Well, yeah. Person's still a slave, so that's exactly that whole scenario there.
Yeah. This movie is fun, but again, there's a part of you just like, wow, that really is happening right now. And there's a lot of correlations in it. And I did just to go to a technical discussion, is how did you feel like the aliens looked? Did you like the fact that it was in black and white?
Yeah, I did.
I did. I thought that really gave it some kind of like, like a darkness to it that would not have been the same if they put color on it.
Yeah, and, because the whole situation was like black and white. Really, you got Roddy Piper's character, Nada, I think is his name. He's believes in all freedom. And then you got these aliens and everything, which are, well, you can have freedom, but you got to do it our way. you still got to serve us. And it's like, no, total freedom, period. So it's very black and white. There was no gray, really. So
yeah. And I want to know, how did they get the technology to make those sunglasses? There was some kind of like material that could see them. So they had to have some kind of scientist involved in that, which we didn't really see. And then eventually they got the contacts, which I was thinking that when I was first watching, like, why don't they have contacts? I mean, it's not like the 1950s. It's, we're like in the 80s, come up with some contacts. And of course they did, which made it a lot more convenient. And then they couldn't tell who knew and who didn't.
Yeah.
But
I do find it interesting with this movie that they're going to release it on the big screen like in September.
Yes. And Fathom Events. I posted it on
it's like, wow. Talk about a red pill.
Yeah. And I think that they do Fathom Events, do all kinds of classic movies. So if you're tired of the same shit, and you want to watch one of your favorite films on the big screen, do it. I actually did go to a Fathom event one time for The End of Time with Doctor Who, which was great seeing Doctor Who on the big screen.
I bet.
So this is like, and the tickets aren't like overly priced. And this is also going to be an IMAX. So check your locals. I think it's only in America. I don't know if it's in the UK, but if you're in America, check your by your zip code, and it'll tell you what theaters, and I think it's 2 days. So I don't know. I'm tempted. Jason's seen this movie a lot, so I don't know if I could get him to go, but there's something about seeing a movie on the big screen. Especially IMAX. That would be interesting. So
it would be.
Go see it. Go see They Live.
Yeah. I enjoyed the film.
The last scene, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. But John Carpenter's a master. I don't know. Are you a fan of John Carpenter other than this is the only you've seen other John Carpenter movies, I assume?
I want to say he did Lady Hawk.
John Carpenter?
I maybe. Now I got to look it up.
I can look it up. I don't think he did, but
I can't remember.
I don't really know.
I'm trying to remember, because that's another one of the films I love.
It was Richard Donner, and then we
Richard
talked about
Donner. That's what. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking John Carpenter?
So John Carpenter did The Fog.
Okay.
The original Fog. He's done In the Mouth of Madness, Halloween, The Thing with Kurt Russell.
Okay.
This is off the cuff. This is out of my brain.
I think I've seen bits and pieces of Halloween. So
Halloween is not your typical like slasher. I like that because it doesn't show like tons of gore. It's just a suspenseful show. To me, it's a horror show, but it's not like your typical. I'm trying to get a full list here to kind of read some of them off. But Escape from New York. He wrote Escape from New York.
Okay.
If you're a fan of that show. And I love Escape from New York. I love Kurt Russell. I really do love a good Kurt Russell film. I can't help it.
Bits and pieces of that. So
yeah, that might be another one we could probably watch, kind of revisit. I like doing these because it's so fun. Like we have something to look forward to, and some of the older shows that we may not have seen a lot, or it's nice to revisit them. You never know what you're gonna get, and
yeah,
I'm looking through to see what other shows he's been a part of. God, I've seen the remake, but Assault on Precinct 13, which is more like a cop. It's not really like horror or like sci-fi. It's more like two criminals and a station secretary defend a defunct Los Angeles precinct office against a siege by bloodthirsty street gang.
Okay.
So yeah, he does other things besides Halloween and stuff, but I just love the way he another good movie that he's done that I really liked was a movie with Tommy Lee Jones called Black Moon Rising, and it doesn't have a high rating, but I think it's an underrated film. It's got Tommy Lee Jones and Linda Hamilton in it. It's a really good show. It's about a hydrodynamic powered racing car. And it sounds boring, but it actually, when you watch it, it's like, it's really good. I caught it on TV a few years ago. So yeah, John Carpenter, definitely underrated. We need another John Carpenter, in this world, like another Steven Spielberg, or they just need to start writing good stuff again. That's what
they just need to start writing good stuff again.
Yeah, that's true.
That's if they ever get out of the actors' strike, but who knows?
Yeah, and that's a good segue, because next week we're having Joseph Mallozzi on.
Yep.
Writer and director of Dark Matter and Stargate Atlantis and other things.
Yeah, and I think he just wrote a horror script too. He's a horror fan.
Yes. So, yes. I'll try not to geek out or anything. If you mention anything, I'll be quiet. But yes, that's interesting. And I if you have any questions about the writer's strike or the actor's strike, or how you think maybe AI may destroy Hollywood, or any of those kind of questions, bring them, because it's going to be the same time next week. We're going to be talking to him. Or if you're a Stargate Atlantis fan or fan of Dark Matter, like I've become, come with questions.
Yeah, Dark Matter, really interesting series. It's like,
it is, and it's a shame that it was canceled after 3 seasons. But don't let that deter you from watching it. It's still enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So we got a little free time. And so, again, watch They Live. Yep. I'm going to get this off the screen.
Well worth it.
So we can see our beautiful faces.
So, yeah.
So I enjoyed it. So what else is on the agenda?
Watching Outland, that Sean Connery movie.
Yeah. Anything with Sean Connery should just be on your list to do. Right?
Yeah,
I think.
So
he was gorgeous back then.
I think I borrowed from the library War of the Worlds, the old one.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping I got the 1970s version one. I've seen bits and pieces of it a long time ago, and I just want to revisit it. So. And I checked out a documentary about how they did it on the radio, and I want to watch that DVD too. So.
Oh yeah, there was a TV movie with back in the day where they talked about that incident where people went crazy and some people were killing themselves.
Yeah,
it was I need to revisit that. That was really,
because it terrified them so much.
Yeah. I think that's why now that they probably would make an announcement before they did, like, this is dramatized.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was, that's another thing I would like to talk about, cover things like that, crazy things that surround some, what would be very interesting subject is crazy happenings surrounding movies.
Okay. I can see that.
Like the behind the scenes weird stuff that happens behind the scenes in movies that, on certain movies. I know that there's some stuff that surrounds The Exorcist, but there's got to be other movies like The Crow. There's all kinds of stuff that surrounded that movie, which is the death of Brendan Lee.
Right.
I think that would be a very interesting topic that I don't think gets covered a whole lot.
It's been a long time since I've seen The Crow. I think I've seen it once. It has a very interesting story.
At the time, I was like in my 20s, and I was it wasn't my thing. I did like Brendan Lee. I did like that movie Rapid Fire. He had a lot of promise, and it was really sad that he was taken from the world very quickly. Such a young guy, and seemed like he was like really enjoying life, and sucks. Much like his father, was taken very young.
Right.
There was a short-lived War of the Worlds TV show, I think, in the 70s with Jared Martin, and this then current day set sequel to the 1950s movie. You must be talking one in the UK. They have a new series, but I haven't have any desire to watch it. I heard it wasn't good, but I don't know. I just
I remember there being like a War of the Worlds series here.
Gosh, yeah, I think it was maybe on Paramount.
Maybe? Oh, that
there's a newer one. Yeah, okay. There's a newer one. I did watch the Tom Cruise movie.
War of the Worlds?
Yeah. Okay. I liked it for what it was.
I'm probably going to have to watch that one too, but I want to watch the 70s one because I have certain memory of and that certain alien sound that they make.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for.
Always go to the 70s. The 70s had some great movies. They had some bad movies too, as you know from the B movie stream, but they had some really great movies in the 70s too. We're not watching a good one tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen it, but I'm the one that I suggested it because I think it's a perfect B movie is Blackula, but I don't think he could play it. So we're watching Scream, Blackula, Scream. I think that's what it's called. So if you tune into Mr. Hyde's B movie stream on YouTube tomorrow, we're all going to shit on it. So and I just think it's a perfect B movie. And so that was my suggestion. But yeah, we do that on Sundays on Mr. Hyde. So it's truly fun if you don't do it. I look forward to it every week. Bring your drinks because you'll need it. A lot of times, or like me, we're trying to be sober, drink some coffee or something, sober you up. Yeah, Scream, Blackula, Scream. Is he screaming or the people he's attacking screaming? I don't know which one it is, but those are fun though. And sometimes I'll think something's going to be real bad. Like, they'll have a movie on there and I'm like, wow, that was a great movie, So you can't always tell. I don't know. I might be buying the Scream Blackula Scream DVD. You never know. Like, hey, I've done that. So 70s did have some great movies. Anytime that you want to talk about any 70s as far as movies or TV shows, person, I love it. I love old 70s movies.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
So what are you going to do this afternoon? You're going to hang, relax, watch TV?
I'm going to try to. Got to pick up a kid from work, take a kid to work, come home, make dinner. Making meatloaf for dinner. So
if only we had someone flying around in a TARDIS with silver hair.
Yeah, for real. Take us to an outer space restaurant. Yeah.
And a magician's coat or ruffles, either one. Pick us up and take us on a wonderful journey.
Yeah.
Or for right now, I'd be okay with a man in a tartan vest looking good for over 50 picking me up too. So
yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, it's been fun. It's been real. Tune in next week. We're going to talk to Joseph Malazzi. Bring your questions. I'm excited. I'm really excited to have him on the show. So I'm looking forward to it. So see you guys on the flip side. Bye.
All right, see you guys. Bye.